Okay. 3.1 notes, function and function notation. This is page 4. Lots of computations here. Pretty straightforward algebra, so it shouldn't be anything that takes us too long. So example 7 asks us to solve for x, and we want our answer stated using function notation and an xy coordinate pair. It's important to remember that these functions give us relationships. Those relationships are what we plot. So A, for what value of x, is g of x equal 9? So this part has to equal our 9. So 9 equals negative 2x plus 1. We are going to solve for x by subtracting 1 first, and then dividing by negative 2, which gives us x equals negative 4. Okay. And so in terms of our function notation, we have g of negative 4 equals 9. Remember that negative 4 was what we got for x. That goes in place of the x. What we get out of that function when we plug in negative 4 is 9. And our ordered pair here is negative 4, 9. When x is negative 4, y is 9. Okay. This would be a good time to pause if you wanted to try B on your own, and then come back and I will walk through it with you. So we want the value of x that makes r of x equal 0. So r of x looks like this, 25x minus 13. We want r of x to be 0. So 0 equals 25x minus 13. We're going to add 13 to both sides, and then we're going to divide by 25. So when x is 13 over 25, so what is this r? R of 13 over 25, y is 0, and so our ordered pair is 13 over 25, 0. There's our ordered pair. There's our function notation. And we shall move on. Again, if you'd like to give C a try, pause the recording now. You can come back and we'll be solving it. So C asks for what value of x is f of x equal 13. So here's our f of x. 3x squared minus 5. I want this part, my f of x, to be 13. I'm going to add 5 to both sides and divide by 3. And now we need to solve for x. So we're going to square root both sides. And remember that when we impose that square root, that should cover my square, we get a plus or minus situation. So I got x equals plus or minus the square root of 6. That means I have two things that are happening here. F of square root of 6 equals 13, and f of negative square root of 6 equals 13. That also means that I get two ordered pairs. So I got root 6, 13 and negative root 6, 13. Whole lot going on in this one. Again, if I was talking too fast or if you've missed something, you can rewind, back that little blue dot up, and watch it again. D, last one. For what value of x is h of x equal 1? So here's our h of x. That equals 12x. We want h of x to be 1. So I'm plugging in 1 for the h of x. Divide both sides by 12. I get x equals 1/12, which means h of 1/12 equals 1. And our ordered pair is 1/12, 1. And that one is done. So moving on to example 8, we need to describe at least two things that we can conclude about the function s of x when we see the notation x minus 4 equals 7. We could call s of x, x minus 4. We can say when x equals 7, s of x equals 11. If you've got other ones there that are created, feel free to add that in on the chat. Sorry, not the chat, the discussion board. So example 9, we want to find function values given the graph of a function. So here is our function right now. If I want to find f of negative 4, this means that x is negative 4. So I'm going to go, this is marked off by 5s, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my negative 4, 1, 2. This point looks like negative 4, positive 2. So f of negative 4 equals 2. So you can hit pause for a minute, fill these other three out. I'm going to change color so we can tell what I got going on here. F of negative 2, so there's negative 2 right there. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Looks like it's this point right here, negative 2, positive 4. So f of negative 2 is positive 4. F of 2, other side, 1, here's my 2. Looks like it goes down 2. So I've got this point here, positive 2, negative 2. F of positive 2 is negative 2. And our very last one, f of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right here. Here's the point, 5, negative 1. So f of 5 is negative 1. E asks for what values of x does f of x equal 0? That means that y is 0. So this is what we're looking for. Means y equals 0. It looks like that happens right here at negative 5. So we got x equals negative 5. Looks like it happens right here at 0. And then it does not cross that x-axis again. You know, could have done a line there. We'll do that here for this one. For what values of x does f of x equal 2? Here's my 2. So anything that crosses that axis is going to solve that. So we already know x equals negative 4. And it looks like it crosses at one other place. You know, it's not exact, but we can get close. Don't spend too much time trying to figure that out. Go with your best guess, and you will be fine.